Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hey Ocarina. We're doing our playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on a PC emulator, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't look this good. Last time we finished up the Great Deku Tree dungeon, and I did a little bit of exploring through the Lost Woods there. Now I'm going to go and explore Hyrule Field and have to talk to that horrible owl. Oh, great. I do like that he has like the upside down face, but that does not forgive the fact that you can't really skip his dialogue all that much. And the fact that they have the did you get all that? It defaults to no instead of yes, which, I mean, I guess if you'd never played before and you just accidentally had skipped all the dialogue, wouldn't really be ideal, but, you know, for those of us who have actually played Ocarina of Time a few times, you kind of don't really want to listen to him say the same thing over and over and over again. So we're going to head to Lon Lon Ranch first, just because I would like to get Epona's song, just for fun. We'll equip the Ocarina for now. The one thing that always scared me was the P-hats, because they follow you, like, really far across the map, and that always kind of freaked me out growing up. Let's see if we can actually get there before it turns to night. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait for a little bit. And I'm just going to have to fill time with killing skeletons and stuff like that. I'm just going to barely make it, I think. We'll see. Yep. Just barely made it. At least I think I did. Nah, the music's not playing. Darn it. Oh well. Well, now I get to just fill time for a little bit. I had mentioned in the last episode that I had left the console on the first time I got to Hyrule Field, and so I came back to just the game over screen, basically. Yeah, I'll probably get the Sun's Song as early as I can, just because I really prefer not having to wait. On the bright side, though, this does give me a good opportunity to farm for some rupees really fast, but... Alright, almost daytime. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Now I can get... Well, actually, no, I don't know. Maybe Malon isn't here yet? I actually think that might be the case, because I haven't gone to Hyrule Castle yet. Yeah, there's Ingo there. And that explained why Epona's song was not playing, so I just didn't know what I was doing there. I've always really liked the contrast when the night changes to day and they play the little happy, I guess, fanfare of music. It's always kind of a cool lead into the Hyrule Field music. And go up here and get 20 rupees before I go into Castle Town. I always thought little Easter eggs like that were pretty neat. And it's just crazy. As a kid, Castletown here always seemed like just huge to me. But, you know, growing up and even seeing Castletown and Twilight Princess, it just makes this seem a lot smaller. And Hyrule Castle as well seems a lot smaller than it did when I was a kid. But, oh good, it's you again, my favorite. The Exposition Owl. No, I do not want to hear what you said again. You're damn right I'm a smart kid. Now let me go. And this vine always tripped me up. We'll see. Okay, that was good, because I would always climb either too far to the left or to the right, and so it wouldn't really work, basically. Now we get to do some forced stealth, which is obviously what everyone wants in a Zelda game, and is definitely a mechanic that comes back in the future. The hint being, of course, that it rarely comes back. Get a cool view of the castle. Or we can try without talking to Navi. We gotta sneak by the guards by swimming. Which I think is a neat touch as well, that you can't just directly walk past them. You have to swim. Swim behind them. See, now we see we can't get past here because your boy is sleeping there. And honestly, I think I might just get caught so that they'll send me back to the front without having to go through. Although I feel like there's a Skulltula that appears here at night. We can see if that actually is the case or not. Nope, apparently not. So yeah, we're gonna get caught by these guards and just go back to the front. Yeah, no, one of the ROM hacks that you can find online, The Legend of Zelda Dawn and Dusk, you have to, like, really be good at stealth, as far as, like, avoiding the guards go, because that's, I'd say, like, a quarter of the game, just avoiding guards on their little routes that they gotta do. Why don't you give me the cuckoo? Ah, okay, there we go. Give me the egg, Malin. Alright. Weird egg. See, and thankfully you don't have to hold on to the egg for too long before it hatches, which, I don't know, modern games would probably pad that out a little bit. Can I actually get past there at this time of day? I should be able to. Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, in The Legend of Zelda Dawn and Dusk, there's basically like a big courtyard maze area with a bunch of guards roaming around, and they have basically a bunch of torch puzzles that you got to do in order to open the boss chamber area. And if you're like me and you suck at the stealth in Zelda games because you just can't really tell what their, I guess, viewing angle is, then it's pretty much impossible to do. So yeah, I just eventually honestly just gave up on that ROM hack. If I could just get like a levitation code, I could probably just jump over it and get to the boss, but We got our friend Talon here. Oops, didn't want to do that. Who looks very similar, you might notice, to another famous Nintendo character. It's Mario. And he even has a brooch on him that is Bowser's head. As does Malon, if you're curious about that. And I always found it funny that he was afraid that she was gonna beat him up or something. For being lazy and not... No, I didn't want to do that. And not just delivering the milk and then coming home, but... It's also another really funny, I guess, Easter egg of sorts is that Ingo, the assistant at Lon Lon Ranch, looks like Luigi. So it's kind of like Mario and Luigi running a milk farm together. Now we get to test our real stealth skills in a second here, which not too excited about. I always get kind of butterfingers during this part, just because I'm not good at stealth games. Although I do play a lot of, I guess, Assassin's Creed, but they've kind of modernized stealth in those games, whereas this is pretty, I guess, binary in terms of, like, you get caught, that's it, you know? Whereas modern Assassin's Creed games, you can kind of get away with getting caught, and they have different, I guess, scenarios for whether or not you immediately get a fail for your mission or what the deal with that is. But let's see. Should be good, yep. See, and like I said, I don't know what their view cone is, so I probably could have made it past both of them in that first little instance, but it's just as well to just wait and be a little patient. I don't think I've ever seen them that close to each other, but that worked out well for me. And we'll see if this works as well with a Xbox One controller. I've always found it funny that they tease you with those rupees down there. I don't know if it's actually possible to get them or not. I'm sure there's people online who know how to do that, but... One thing I really kind of do like about these older games is that whenever they have these like forced camera angles, they often use like just sort of flat textures, like that's those statues up there type of deal. And I don't know, I just think that that kind of gives it a unique art style, or you know, a unique look. Let's see if I can make it past them. Oh, nice. And now we get to reiterate a cutscene that we had earlier. Although we're gonna check out this Easter egg first. In the window there, you can see pictures of Mario and Bowser and Peach and is that Yoshi? Yep. And if you hit it with a slingshot, you get some money, which is nice. Although, on the other side here, there's another window, and if you hit it, the guard throws a bomb at you, which I always found to be a little funny once I figured out about that. I never really cared for Zelda's hat. But that's, you know, just me maybe nitpicking, but... I always like that you can lie to her. So see, I told her no. But she basically forces you to tell the truth. There's a few little dialogue instances like that throughout the game where you can kind of, not really sequence break, but you can just be like, no, I don't have it, or no, I'm not going to help you, type of deal. But yeah, she's telling you about the dream that she had. One thing that I find kind of interesting with this game, and I think Majora's Mask as well, is that the cutscenes are presented in like widescreen, whereas the game itself is presented in 4:3, which obviously at the time that was just a limitation of televisions that people had, but it's just kind of interesting that from, I guess, a cinematic standpoint, they wanted to show you the important story beats in 16:9 or just widescreen. I don't know what the exact dimensions are, but then we get to reiterate the creation story that we had earlier. One of the things I really liked in the, I guess, early days of the internet for me was looking up all the different theories that people had about how you could get the Triforce in Ocarina of Time. But now that we have the, I guess, better technology to just dig around in the code of the games and stuff, it's just obvious that you weren't ever able to get it in any means without, I guess, modding the game or creating stuff yourself type of deal. But and thank goodness she let me skip some dialogue. Well, it's just funny, in terms of like the passing of time and how graphics get better and stuff. Like this game when it came out looked better than pretty much any game besides like maybe fighting games, which obviously, and maybe racing games as well looked a little better. But as far as adventure games go, this one looked pretty good. And yet now going back to it, no one has separated fingers and stuff like that. Just it's just neat though to look at this as I guess a time capsule to when graphics were a lot simpler. But even so, the just the emotion, like you can see, the expression Zelda has on her face there, pretty ambitious, for a game that came out in 98, or was it 97? Either 97 or 98, but yeah, it's just a really good amount of expressiveness in each of the characters. It's really cool. And one thing I really like about this game, and pretty much all the Zelda games in general, is that they always highlight the, I guess, important text in different colors. So like Zelda's letter is in red there, to kind of symbolize its importance for you, as well as the yellow text there to kind of tell you, hey, you need to equip this. You get to talk to one of our friends, the sages. I always thought it was cool how they really expand the lore in this game. Like, I don't think Sheikah were a thing in A Link to the Past, if I remember correctly, but it's just really cool that she's like explaining, oh, like we're a tribe that's tasked with protecting the royal family of Hyrule. So it's just a neat little thing, and they've really expanded on that lore in the recent games, Breath of the Wild in particular. Although even going as far as Skyward Sword, just in terms of how far the Sheikah tribe has existed, it's just a neat little thing. I'm excited to see that iteration of Impa again as well in Skyward Sword HD, amongst other things. Didn't realize my speakers were on there, so hopefully I haven't been getting a bunch of background noise, so apologies if that was the case, but... And Impa is a real G. She takes you out to the front of Hyrule Castletown. Another thing that's kind of wild, just in terms of how games have gotten more advanced and stuff as time has gone on, is, you know, in Breath of the Wild, you can look at Death Mountain from, you know, wherever on the map, and you can go there. You don't have to go through different loading zones and stuff like that. You know, so that's just, it's a neat little thing. Before I go to Castletown, I am going to see, or, I mean Death Mountain, I'm going to see if the Mask Salesman is open, so I can kind of do something a little earlier. I also do want to go to Lon Lon Ranch so that I can get a piece of heart and a, I believe an empty bottle from Talon for doing a little mini game, one of the few that I actually have any desire to do, because I'm really not good at the, I guess the precision ones, you know, where it's like, oh, use the slingshot to do this, you know, never been very good at those. Oh, still not open. Well, in the meantime, we will at least go to Lon Lon Ranch. And I might pop by Kokiri Forest and the Lost Woods again to see if Saria is there. That way I can get Saria's song just a little early, so I won't have to backtrack before I go to Death Mountain. We're gonna do that pro speedrunner strat and do the side hop. Which I don't know if it's actually quicker or not. It may be marginally quicker than rolling around, but... There we go, now the music's playing. Perfect. I've always loved Lon Lon Ranch. It's one of my favorite places in the game. Trying to get her to teach me a Epona song. Oh, okay, there we go. And I always found it interesting, the, I don't know, like, sound font or whatever they use for Ocarina of Time to imitate singing. Doesn't sound perfect, but I think it does a serviceable job. And of course you have the classic picture of Link looking at the ocarina, all confused, which is the icon for the YouTube channel, as you'll may or may not know. See, and now Epona's our friend. Isn't that nice? And she'll push us around. Alright, let's get that heart piece over in the, I guess, grain silo tower thing that they got going on over here. One thing that I've always found kind of neat is that getting Epona as adult Link is technically optional. Because if you have the hook shot, you don't actually need Epona to cross the Gerudo Canyon, which just a neat little tidbit, I guess. Need to move that one that way. And that one that way. Probably didn't do this as efficiently as I could have, but oh well. Grab that one and move it out of the way. That should be enough room. See, and I always loved finding... Well, I didn't find this secret on my own. I think I looked it up online or something, but I always liked, you know, just little hidden passages and stuff like that that had heart pieces versus getting them in like a mini game or something. Because it gives you a lot more of a reason to want to explore versus just, you know, I just being window dressing, I guess, of sorts. But now we're going to do a little mini game with our friend Talon. Alright, we gotta do a little prep work before we do this mini game. Only reason I really like this one is because you can basically cheat at it by throwing all the other cuckoos behind the little countertop here. And they basically get stuck on each other, although I say that and immediately one gets out. No, I don't want to talk to you yet, Talon. Okay, Talon, that's enough of that. How about we stop now? Oh my god. I do not miss not being able to skip text in this game, because my goodness, this is ridiculous. No, Talon, I don't want to do that yet. Oh my gosh, shut up, Talon. No. See, he spends 20 minutes talking to me and explaining how the game works, and then I don't even play. Oh, yeah, that's why that works, is because they can't go over it. No, Talon, no. No. Yeah, it is one of the, I guess, faults with this game is that interacting with stuff doesn't always work quite as well when there's an NPC around who just really has something important that he wants to tell you, but there we go. Throw them chickens, Talon. And see, we basically just cheated, and now we can do it in way faster time than if we had had to look through all the other cuckoos. There we go, perfect. Yeah, and I always thought it was funny he asks if you would want to marry Malin. And he's totally joking, even though people are always theorizing that Link does end up with Malin based on the fact that Link in Twilight Princess is a rancher, so. Got our first bottle here, as soon as he's done talking to us. And now we can leave Lon Lon Ranch forever. At least until we're an adult anyways. As far as I know, although there might be a Skulltula there or something, but that's just nitpicking, and I don't really feel like getting a, you know, 100% of the Skulltulas. Just want to get enough to get the adult's wallet. Or the Giant's Wallet, whichever one that is. I do wish that they had given you some of the warp spells a little earlier on. Or maybe even Epona a little earlier on, just because going across Hyrule Field without any means of going faster is just super tedious. But again, that could just be me nitpicking, because at the time, you really didn't have anything as ambitious in terms of scale as the Hyrule Field there. I guess I'll make sure and see if Saria is actually home first or not. I think that's Saria's house with the hearts on it. Yeah. Nope, she's not home. Oh. And she's not in front of our house, so I guess that means she's in the Lost Woods now, so. Oh no. I can't avoid him, can I? Very useful information. Thank you, Kepora Gebora. That is one thing I do like about playing fan games in comparison to these ones, is that they're a lot less about beating your head with tutorials and stuff like that. So it's kind of a nice change of pace, being able to not have to worry about an owl talking your ear off, but thankfully, since we've already done this, we can just immediately go through the maze. Another part of the game that really makes my palms sweat a little bit is when you come back here as an adult and the moblins are walking around. The moblins always kind of freaked me out. Perfect. One thing I really like about this game just in general is that you can just kind of theorize and stuff about a lot of the different areas. Like, what did this area used to be? I don't know. It kind of looks like, I don't know, just based on like theories and stuff in videos I've watched online, it kind of looks like a mansion, or it could have been, you know, a castle at one point. People have speculated that maybe it was where the original Hyrule Castle was. Hey, and now we're gonna learn Saria's song. Hey, same classic face. Gotta look really confused. And of course, now that we have that song, we will play it a grand total of 1 time for Darunia, and then never play it again. Oh my gosh, of course he has to talk to me again. As if it wasn't enough that he had talked to me on the way in here, but... I always found it a little strange that talking to Saria... yeah, and I'll switch between pronunciations of Saria and Saria. No, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know how it's actually pronounced, if it's Saria or Saria, but I'll pop in between pronunciations, I guess. But I always found it a little strange that they teach you a song that basically just gives you tutorial hints, kind of like Navi does anyways, so just found it a little strange that they go through the effort of having basically 2 means of doing stuff like that, although, I don't know, I guess Navi isn't the most reliable as far as hints go, so... Yeah, now we're going to head over to Kakariko Village. Although I am going to make sure we're still recording as we go. We certainly are. Perfect. I will say, though, that similar to Breath of the Wild, I mean, regardless of you being able to actually go to landmarks that you see in the distance, this game does do a good job of having them at least be visible. So you kind of have an idea of where you need to go regardless of, you know, just looking at the map. Because you can always see Death Mountain in the distance, or Hyrule Castle Town over here. You know, you don't really need to do any guesswork. I am going to wait until it's morning before I head in there. Just so I can do one of the other side activities to get a bottle. Aw, want to get some rupees from him, oh well. I always really liked Kakariko Village as well. But yeah, we gotta bring these cuckoos over to Anju, who, well, I don't know if it's actually Anju in this game or not. In fact, I think she's not named in this game. Yeah, we have Anju here, who has lost her cuckoos, and she's allergic to them, which is really unfortunate, so she needs you to basically go around and pick them all up for her. And one thing that I wish they did, and I mean, I get why they didn't do it, was I wish that the cuckoos just stayed caught after you got them one time. Because, as a kid, I thought, oh, well, if I do it again, I'll get, I don't know, a different reward. And I think you do get something. I don't remember what, though. I think it may be rupees or something like that. You know, I just wish it was something a little more significant, you know? But, that's just me nitpicking, really. Let me see if I can do this on the first try. Hey, perfect. I'll throw that one back over there. We'll avoid this hole in the ground. Because if you leave the area, it resets all of the cuckoo. I forget if there's one up here as well, but I'm going to throw this one down here for the time being. Yeah, there's one up there. I always found it funny that the carpenters are just not really doing much carpentry. They're just kind of running around aimlessly. Um, you know, but that's just a neat little thing, I guess. I can just jump down here, and I love cuckoo gliding, and pretty much all the Zelda games that it's included in. I just think it's a neat little, not attention to detail thing, because obviously you can't do that with real-life chickens, but just a neat little mechanic that you can kind of figure out. And it's used to great effect in Twilight Princess with the golden cuckoo that you have to use in order to get to the Master Sword, I believe. Yeah, the grove where the Master Sword is. I want to say there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. And if I am correct, it is up these stairs. Hey, there it is. Cool. Alright. Give us that bottle. And I like how she talks up the bottle. She's like, oh, it's fine glass. It's priceless heirloom. It's like, nah, it's just an empty fucking bottle that you gave me. And granted, you know, bottles are pretty useful in this game, but still, it's the principle of it. Darn it. I am going to get the Sun Song next, since I know Zelda's Lullaby. We got our creepy little friend here who imitates the Gravekeeper and just kind of does the same thing he does. Interesting tidbit, he's not in the adult timeline. He just sort of disappears. But there's a bunch of theories online about who he becomes or if he just, you know, dies altogether. But we're going to get the Sun Song here, just so we don't have to do it later. And I love how the sound effect of the brick breaking there is the sound that you make whenever, or the sound that's made whenever you break a wooden crate in the game. And granted, you know, obviously they weren't going to create a unique sound just for that, but still would have been neat. Yeah, and I think if you come back here once you have either the fire arrows or Din's fire, you can do a little puzzle here with these 2 torches in order to get, I don't know, maybe rupees or something. I'm going to avoid these re-deads because I just don't feel like fighting them. And there we go. I just imagine about, you know, how kids would have felt exploring caverns and stuff like this for the first time. You know, and even how I felt. Although, granted, I did look up guides and stuff because I wasn't the brightest 7 or 8-year-old or whatever age I was. But yeah, just figuring this kind of stuff out organically would have been really cool. And that's something I wish I could experience for the first time again, or just, you know, entirely redo it type of deal. But Yeah, this is a useful song for fighting redeads and for changing the time of day for side quests and stuff like that. Now we've appeased one of the composer brothers, I believe. See, and I'll show you. There we go. Took me a while to remember it. But yeah, if you play the Sun Song wherever Redeads or maybe Gibdos are, then it freezes them in place. At least until you hit them. I think that breaks them free from the stun that you do. Yeah, that's it for here for now. Although I think maybe one of the graves has a piece of heart in it or something. Assuming you have, I think bombs, maybe? I think that's what you need. Yeah, there's our friend Damp there. Or Dampy. I don't know however you pronounce it, but... We're gonna go back to Kakariko Village proper now. And we'll talk to our friend the guard at the gate after we get a Skulltula over here. Because we need a bunch of these. Oh, jeez. Oh gosh, that was not great. Should have done that to begin with, but I gotta see if I can find some hearts. Ugh, I'm not a fan of the effect that they do whenever you have low health. Oh cool, rupees. That's what I needed. There we go, perfect. We have our friend Grog there, who is the son of the head carpenter. He's pretty instrumental in a side quest later on, but we'll get there when we get there. There we go, perfect. Now we can talk to our friend. Although I hear a Skulltula. No, Navi, I don't want to talk to you. Hey, there it is. Perfect. Guess I'm not just dropping down. And I always liked that when you come back here as an adult, and you have the hook shot, you're able to get a piece of heart from that guy who was sitting on the roof over there. Because he wanted some company, and you're the only one who's able to get up there, so. We're going to give this guard the letter from Zelda. He's going to talk to us for 20 minutes. With dialogue that we can't skip. Which is perfect. I do like how he just plays along with the letter, and he's like, oh, this kid's probably totally gonna die, but I'll let him go up Death Mountain anyways. He's gotta tell us about the Hylian shield, which I think you can actually get in a chest in the graveyard, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe you can get one in Dodongo's cavern. I don't remember exactly, but... Alright, now the Masked Salesman is there. He's another one of my favorite characters, the Masked Salesman. And another interesting tidbit about this guard here is that he's actually the father of that kid who was pretending to be Dampy, the Gravekeeper. And in the adult timeline, we don't see him, we don't see his son, and then the mother is in the house next to where the that guard is stationed. You never actually see her in the game. You just are able to interact with the door to her house, and she tells you that her son can't come out to play right now. Or he's playing at the graveyard, I believe. Yeah, I think all I'm gonna do for the rest of this is just go to Goron City. And, I heard a Skulltula back there, but I can't get it until I have the bombs, so... Yeah, I'm gonna open up Dodongo's Cavern, go in there, and then probably just save for the day. Uh-oh. Don't want to get hit by him. Alright. Goron City, which is basically just a cave. Really not all that impressed. You gotta know 2 songs to do this portion. You gotta know Zelda's Lullaby to open the door. And then you gotta have, I don't remember Saria's song. I gotta look it up. Let's see. There we go. Okay, cool. Then you gotta have Saria's song in order to make Darunia here do a little dance. And this boy loves to dance. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, the reason he's jamming out to Saria's song is because there's a little, I guess, warp tunnel that you can take between Goron City and the Lost Woods. So he, I guess, heard that song near that entrance, and so he really likes it. Yeah, he had been depressed because they couldn't go into Dodongo's Cavern, which is where they get the rocks that they eat. And of course we have the traditional unskippable dialogue, as is custom. Classic exposition, am I right? And I always found it funny that you get the Goron's bracelet, and then pretty much immediately it's made irrelevant by the bomb bag in the dungeon. But, I mean, you can use it for a few things, obviously. Like, I think you need it to be able to lift, like, bushes off the ground and stuff like that. Maybe even pots as well. But, aside from that, really not all that useful after you get the bombs themselves. You gotta have Link do his little spin because he's following, I guess, the motion of that thing. Oh, didn't want to do that. And I always found it interesting that there's torches up here that activate, you know, little noises, but they don't actually do anything, at least as far as I know. They don't do anything, but yeah, we're gonna drop that so that way we can open up this little shortcut into the Lost Woods. Perfect. And then if you throw a bomb chew into that spinning thing there, if it lands on the right head as it stops, you get a heart piece, but that's sort of tedious, and I would rather just wait to do that until I have the bomb bag, because then you can just kind of keep trying until you get it. So yeah, we're going to open up Dodongo's Cavern. momentarily. See if I can get this right on the first try as well. Maybe. Hey, perfect. Alright. Now I gotta see if I can survive that fall. Ha. I wonder if I could even make that jump. Oh, I almost did. Yeah, there's a heart piece up there, and that would have been cool if I'd been able to skip that. If I retried it, I might have been able to, but not worth it, IMO. So we're going to go into Dodongo's cavern here. And we're going to end on that little cliffhanger of sorts with that wall there. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.